Good morning to you, Naledi, and good morning to the viewers as well at home. Well, we are expecting about 5,000 Cosatu members to gather here at the Durban Caris Fountain Stadium, as of course they commemorate that very crucial step that was taken by the African as well as Indian workers at the time in 1973, when they took to the street around the area of Durban, where they were basically, highlighting their dissatisfaction with regards to the working conditions as well as their wages at the time. And Naledi, we are joined by the provincial secretary of Cosatu here in KwaZulu-Natal, that Mr. Edwin Mkhize, who's going to tell us more about this gathering here this morning today. Mr. Mkhize, thank you very much for your time. You were meant to start at 9 o'clock, but I see the stadium is literally empty. What is delaying the start of the program?
No, in fact, the formal program is starting at 11. From 9 o'clock, it's arrival. Though yesterday we were also approached by our unions, our affiliates, that they wanted us to be a bit flexible on the program because they have members coming as far as Newcastle who started traveling as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, some in Newcastle. Some workers are coming the north side of the province, areas like Mbangeni, areas like Pongolo. So we expect a little delay in arrival of the workers, but we hope that by 11 o'clock, where the formal program is starting, workers will be here.
Who's going to be addressing those workers?
The workers are going to be addressed by the president of Cosatu. Then the South African Communist Party has deployed its central committee member, Ubaba Willis Mchunu. Then the African National Congress has deployed its deputy president, Comrade Mashatile. So those are main addresses that we're going to receive today.
Let's talk about the issues affecting workers as we speak. 50 years ago, we saw those thousands of workers taking to the street, demanding better wages as well as better working conditions. When I spoke to the founding General Secretary of Cosatu, Mr. J. Naidu, yesterday, he did say that workers really in this country have very little to celebrate if you look at their current working conditions. Why is Cosatu not able to better the working conditions of workers?
Cosatu has done a lot to better the working conditions of workers. If maybe we can reflect on it objectively, but I must say that most of the things that the workers of the generation of 1973 fought for remains a serious challenge for workers of today. I must say that Cosatu has done its best. You know that one of the key demands of the time and one of the key founding resolutions of Cosatu was the issue of the national minimum wage. And Cosatu has achieved the national minimum wage, which means that Cosatu is really moving forward. He is really doing something to address issues of workers. But I must say that because of the challenges faced by the economy, the low levels of employment, many workers work in informal sectors, and those workers therefore do not have the benefits such as pension funds, benefits such as even some of them, they're still not earning that national minimum wage. So we are saying that what the workers of the 1973 fought for remain a challenge for workers of today. Some of the things that we still have to work hard as Cosatu to address, to take forward. I think as we move forward, capitalism as a system is also waging offensive against the working class and the workers of this country. And therefore, that really has subjected us as Cosatu to some kind of difficulty. And that has really caused some kind of a low morale to workers. as you can see that one of the challenges facing workers is the state of paralysis division within the working class itself. The issues of workers cannot come together in solidarity. As we speak today, our workers in macro, they are in strike. But workers continue to go in macro and buy in macro. Public continue to go in macro and buy in macro. There are workers who are working while others are outside. So there are lots that is done by capitalism and the company bosses to weaken the trade unions and to weaken the strength of workers. And it's what, as Cosatu, we are really saying that as we are celebrating this 1973 Durban strike, is to try to remind ourselves as leaders of trade union movement, is to try to remind even workers to build their consciousness that they have to stand bold, they have to stand together, they have to wage solidarity, they have to be united in order for us to be able to take the struggle of workers forward.
Speaking of the economy, Mr. Mkhize, we are seeing a number of companies retrenching thousands of workers across the country in different sectors of the economy. The question then is, where is Cosatu when workers are losing their jobs, and it seems like this continues unabated?
I must say that it's Cosatu that go to CCMA to represent those workers against Section 189. It's our unions of Cosatu, but I think it's a question of the social partners coming together, which we engage at the level of network. You remember, we even engage at the level of the job summit to say the government must enforce some kind of moratorium in this thing of just retrenching workers, because some of these retrenchments are unnecessary. But because we have said that the business in South Africa sometimes is not sympathetic to the people of South Africa, sometimes business is not even sympathetic to the government of South Africa. They want to make profit at all costs, no matter how much the economy is not performing. Business, they're still looking for profit, and therefore you find workers being retrenched. Our responsibility is to protect those workers, but if you can build consciousness of business, if you can really remind the business its responsibility, also that they need to play a social responsibility, they need to play to the people of South Africa. We think that kind of work must be facilitated by government through the engagement that we have as social partners in Netleg. In the province, we have KZN Economic Council, which as Cosatu, we're participating actively. So unfortunately, we will try to protect workers as we always try to protect workers. But if the business really does not have that commitment of saving jobs, there's very little that Cosatu can do on that.
Before we let you go, Kabazela, is it correct to say that we are expecting 5,000 workers to gather here today?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
That's Mr. Edwin Mkhize, who is the provincial secretary of Cosatu here, basically outlining some of the successes that Cosatu has been able to achieve since its formation in 1985. And of course, saying that workers in this country still face a plethora of challenges that will require not just the labor unions, but of course the contribution as well from the private as well as the public sector. We are expecting proceedings here in Aledi to start at about 11 o'clock. And of course, as you heard Edwin Mkhize saying earlier on, that the deputy president of the ANC and of the country, Mr. Paul Mashatile, is going to be delivering the speech here once the event gets underway. It's back to you in Johannesburg for now.